and we are going to dive straight into this. So welcome to all of y'all, all you guys that missed this and are on the replay. Um, you should have been here because it's just better live. It just really is better live. But I'm glad you're watching on the replay too, and glad you're checking this thing out. We are talking today about one of my very favorite things in the world to teach, which is my 8-step client conversion formula. Nobody taught me this. Nobody trained me on this. I learned it myself. I created it myself, and it is my magic. It is my secret sauce. It is my formula. It's what makes me a lot of money, and it's what makes my clients a lot of money. And it is a very methodical, step-by-step process on exactly, basically, how to take social media interactions and turn them into paying clients. That's what we're learning tonight. Those guys that have been going through my challenge this week, I've been telling you all along the week that Thursday, I'm going to teach you one of the most valuable things I have to teach you. And it's one of the #1 pain points that online business owners have. And one of the biggest pain points that online business owners have is, Justin, how the heck do I turn all this social media business into people that actually engage with me and pay me? That's what we're going to talk about tonight, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. All right, I'm going to start you guys out with a quote this evening because I like quotes. You guys know I like to share quotes. I'm going to start you out with a quote by a man named Bill Russell, who's a former NBA player, and he's an author now and a speaker, very successful. Bill Russell says, "Success is the result of consistently practicing winning actions to develop winning skills. There is nothing miraculous about the process. There is no luck involved." This is what we're talking about tonight. Is I don't have a successful business because I got lucky. I don't have a successful business because certain things just happened at certain times. I have a successful business because I've gotten very good at figuring out what works and being very consistent and very methodical about that. So what I want to teach you tonight is how to create your own client conversion formula. And the process, what's fun about the process, what I teach in this is basically I'm going to teach you the concept and the formula, but then you're going to be able to take it and kind of make it your own, refine it for yourself, and develop your own conversion formula that's going to work to get you paying clients. And then once you figure that out, it's a matter of consistently practicing that winning action to developing a winning skill and attract those clients that you're after. Sounds good, right? I mean, how many of y'all are after some extra clients, some extra income, and a little bit of ease and accessibility? Like, y'all know me. I'm not about chasing people, right, Celia? I don't run after people. My mission is to attract people. Like I declare every single year at the beginning of the year, I said, Lord, I declare that you bless me with a business that is driven by referrals, because I don't want to have to run after people. I want to be able to do my thing, leverage my gifting, serve the people that the Lord brings across my path, and let my work speak for itself and just attract clients with ease. So that's what I'm trying to get you guys in that position too. So you don't have to do as many cold calls. You don't have to do as many cold contacts, and you can just attract people to the gift that you have, because every single one of y'all has a gift. And by the way, if any of y'all don't know this about me yet, I love the Lord Jesus Christ with all my heart, and I have no problem talking about him. So it's doesn't surprise me whatsoever if that just comes up this evening. Okay. So first of all, number one, and as I go through this, you guys are going to I'm kind of talking to my challenge group a little bit this evening, because I've been doing a challenge all week long. In case you don't know this, I've been doing a challenge all week long called Elevate Your Brand. And it's been good, right? Those guys that have been in this, it's been nice. It's been work, but it's been good, hasn't it? So this Zoom is actually designed for that group. So if those guys, if anybody's in here watching this that wasn't in the group, you got lucky, because I was feeling generous, and I decided, you know what, this training is just so valuable. We just need to share it with everybody. So we decided just to get it out to everybody. So I'm talking to my challenge group tonight because on this point number one, step number one is beginning with your end in mind. When you are wanting to position yourself to attract paying clients, the first step to do so is you need to know what you're attracting them to. Okay, so beginning with your end in mind is a crucial component to establish the process of attraction. Now, all week long, those guys that have been going throughout this challenge, I've been chiseling on this all week. Just about every day, I've asked some sort of question about that end in mind. I've asked you numerous different angles of this. So by now, I think it's safe to say you guys should have a pretty good idea of what your end in mind is and what specific thing you want to lead people to. If you haven't been going through my challenge, then maybe something you need to figure out tonight. But you'll notice on my worksheet that I gave you, I put this sentence on here that says, what is the single best thing that I can offer right now in this season. Now, I worded that the way I worded it because there's a couple keywords in there. First of all, single is a keyword. Y'all are brilliant. I get it. Y'all are blessed. Y'all have lots of ideas. We're not telling everybody about everything that you can do right now. I want to know about the best thing that you can do right now. There's a great quote. Who knows who said it? Maybe some of y'all do, but good is the enemy of great. And we need to sort through all those good things that you have to offer to establish the best thing that you have to offer. And that's where we're attracting people to. So do not try to go into this client conversion formula with, well, Justin, I have this one offer, but then I have this other one too. And then I have this other great one over here, just in case that one doesn't. No, I want to know the best one, the single one that you want to attract clients to. That's important. All right. Now, it doesn't mean that this is your forever one. That's why I also said in this season. So if you decide today that, you know, this is the best thing that I have to offer right now, doesn't mean that that's the only thing that you can offer for the rest of the year and beyond. Just means that in this season, where are we? February 2020, going into March 2020. This time of year, it's going into spring. You know, spring fever's coming in. You got some summer stuff coming on. What is it about your clients and about the season that can get you forming one single best offer? So when I tell you to lead with your end in mind, this is about getting very singular and very focused on one specific thing, right? Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. Number 2. That was easy, right? Number 2 is to define your target customer. This is important. And those of you guys that have been going through my challenge, you know, I've just been wailing on you about this thing. Haven't you? Several of you have been like, Justin, I feel like I'm answering this question in 5 different ways. I'm like, that's the point. I want you to think about this and think about this and think about this until you are blue in the face. You know exactly who you serve, Lisa, right? You know exactly what it is that you do and who needs it. Now, the funny thing is about this is, while I asked you 10 different ways to define your target person, when you translate this over to the actual target person, we need to get very simple, because they don't need to hear all that. They need to know just clearly and confidently who you are and who you serve. So when you think about this, that's why I say simplify. Going into step 2, I say who needs this, and I put on here, describe 3 different individuals who could benefit from your single best thing. One of the things that hangs a lot of entrepreneurs up is the target audience conversation. I'm like, am I right? Those guys that have been in business for a while and you've been through training and you've been through all the stuff, same stuff I've heard. All right, we've all bought the academies, we've all listened to the webinars, we've all read the books, right? And they're like, define your target avatar, and you want to create a perfect avatar profile, and some of them go so far as to be like, define what their house looks like, what color's the front door, how old are their kids, like what kind of money do they make, where school did they go to. I really don't care. And neither do they. They don't care if you define all that. Listen, so when I say simple, like, I know who I serve and I know what they're going through. So when I say simplify in this one, when you define your target customer, this is the challenge that I have for you. I challenge you to try to define your target customer in one sentence. So I'll give you an example. So for me, if you say, Justin, who do you serve? I serve and I work with goal-driven individuals who have a very specific gifting that serves a very specific type of clientele and want to build a business from it. That's it. I work with goal-driven individuals, and the reason why I say goal-driven individuals is because I don't work people who want me to work harder on their business than they will. Anybody want to testify to that? Like, I will not work with people that want me to work harder than they do. I just won't do that. So when I think of goal-driven individuals, I want to work people who have got goals. I want to work with people that make me sweat. Man, I have a hard time keeping up with you. Like, what are we doing next? Like, I want to work with those type of people that have a drive, that have a passion, that have a desire to do more, accomplish more, acquire more, and impact more this year than they ever have before. Somebody want to give me an amen to that? Like, I want to work with people that are ready to just go and do something. So I work with goal-driven individuals who have a very specific gifting that serves a very specific type of clientele and wants to build a business from it. That's it. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care if you're male, female. I don't care if you're broke. I don't care if you are a trust fund child. I don't care if you are whatever. I don't care. I don't care what color your hair is. I don't care about none of it. All I care is if you are that person, you are a goal-driven individual, very specific gift, very specific type of clientele, and you want to build a business, I am your man and I can serve you. Very simple. Now, obviously I know from my own perspective, there's more to that. But when I am communicating myself to people, simplify, because one of the best and most powerful ways for you to attract the right type of people to you is for you to clearly communicate to them they're the person for you. So the problem is, because of the target audience conversation is just so muddy and it's just so confusing and overwhelming. People get just swallowed by that conversation, and then they're like, now that you've filled out this target avatar and you've filled out this profile, now go into a live stream and go and attract your audience. And you're like, how? Who do I talk to, and how do they know that I'm for them? So simplifying is very important on this piece. Define your target customer. So on this worksheet, when I say define your target customer, I say who needs this, describe 3 different types of individuals that could benefit from this offer. I challenge you to try to write out like 3 different versions of that particular target customer, because you might have, let me think for an example. Let me think about like maybe you specialize in coaching. Maybe you're a coach for women. You know, many of y'all are life coaches for women. So maybe you're a life coach that coaches women in transitioning into the next stage of their life. So maybe you're a transition coach or something like that, right? So you might define a couple different people. You might say, all right, so maybe one particular woman that I serve is a woman who she's just graduated her last child. She's an empty nester, and she's trying to figure out how she can start using her gift and her time to make an impact in the marketplace. So that may be one. Another one may be a woman who's just graduated from college, hasn't found a job yet, and is looking to transition into the marketplace and actually start her career. You may have another one who maybe I don't know, maybe she's single. Maybe she lost her husband and she's never worked her whole life, and now she's wanting to transition into stepping into her gifting. Maybe it's somebody who's worked in a job they hate for forever, but they are a professional knitter and they want to create a knitting business, and you want to help them transition into that. So you might describe, thinking about the define your target customer, thinking about the target individual, try to describe in one sentence maybe 3 different types of people that you feel really, really called to serve. And as you see that, hopefully it turns your light bulbs on and gives you a couple of different ideas on who exactly you may want to attract, all right? I see a question from Jackie. Jackie says, if I can define my target customer in 2 different ways, on what basis should I choose? If I can define my target customer in 2 different ways, on what basis should I choose? It's a great question, Jackie. Let me put it to you this way. You may not necessarily have to choose, because the cool thing about attraction is that every day that you turn your open sign on in your business and you're looking to attract new clients, you're going to have variations. So for example, I have 3 very distinct types of clients that I serve. One distinct type of client is a brand new startup business. Some of you guys are there today. Brand new startup. You don't have anything done yet. You have an idea. Maybe you have a gift. You are probably scared to death. You have no idea where to go or how to even start this thing, and thinking of investing the money into a coach or into the processes is scary to you because it's new, but you are passionate about something and you know that you want to do this. You just don't know where to start. That's one client. Okay. Then I have another version of a startup business that maybe you are an established startup business. Doesn't mean that you're thriving, just means that you're established. So maybe you've been around for a little bit. Maybe you've got some branding done, but you're not real happy with it. Maybe you built a website yourself and you know it needs an overhaul or a refresh. You may have made some money, but you can't figure out how to make consistent money or to scale your money. You may be doing live videos and blogs and you can't seem to get anybody to connect to you. So you may have an established startup, but you're looking to scale and refine and take that thing to the next level. So you might be in this middle phase. Then I have another section of clients that would be what I would call seasoned business owners. You've been at it for probably 3-5 more years. You got solid branding, you got a great website, you got a great program that you've developed. Maybe you're an author or a speaker that's established, and you're looking to streamline because you're busy. You got a lot of ideas, you got a lot of stuff going on. So you probably need to trim the fat, streamline, and maybe interject some new systems like funnels or autoresponders or new processes and procedures to systemize your income and scale. So those are 3 different types of people. So to Jackie's question, when Jackie says, if I define my target customer in 2 different ways, on what basis should I choose? For me, I know that I'll have different segments of clients that are going to be in different stages. Doesn't mean that I have to only pick one and hone in on one. Just means that I have to be cognizant that I'm going to have a blend of those types of people. But all of them, if I go back to simplifying my message, all of them are goal-driven individuals who have a very specific gifting that serves a very specific type of clientele and want to build a business from it. They're just all in different stages. So the stages we're going to get to in a second, when I understand the different types of mindset and the different types of stages that my clients will be in, that's where my content takes different tones. Because on Monday, I may try to attract those startups who are scared and nervous and just trying to get going. Tuesday, I may go after the ones that have gotten a little bit accomplished, but they're frustrated and they're irritated and they're looking to figure out how to fix things. And then maybe on Wednesday, I'm going to take an approach to trying to go after those power players, the ones that are looking to level up. Does that make sense? So the target audience conversation is a tricky one, but it doesn't have to be confusing. You just have to get strategic with it, if that makes sense. All right. So that's number 2, is define your target customer. Number 3 is to define their emotional pain points. Now, when I do this for myself, I will, if I'm defining again, if I say step 1, 2, and 3, my startup, my established startup, and then my seasoned business owner, when I'm doing these pain points for myself, I kind of establish the pain points that each one of them are feeling and kind of separate those, because it's important for me when I'm figuring out how to attract. I need to know what they're dealing with. So when I tell you to define their pain points, I'm looking for, like, what are they wrestling with? So when I think of that startup business owner, they got fear of doing the wrong thing or making crucial mistakes early on, spending money that's not going to pan out. They're dealing with confusion, not knowing what information is good information. They're frustrated. They feel stuck. So, if I go to the middle entrepreneur, the ones that is somewhat established, but is dealing with some challenges, that particular person may be feeling defeated for a variety of reasons. Maybe it's because they've been doing content after content, live after live, and can't seem to get traction from it. It could be that they are making some money, but they can't figure out how to make consistent money. They have one great month, and you're like, oh, I feel like I'm finally getting ahead. And then the next month, you just crash and burn. So they're defeated. They're frustrated. Some of the variety of these people are dealing with a lack of clarity. Sometimes it could be brain fog, lack of energy, lack of motivation, doubt. Limiting beliefs are a thing. What do you call it? Imposter syndrome, where you just doubt yourself, you're saying all the stuff to yourself that's never going to work for me. I'm never going to be able to do that. Delete and cancel that off my own life. But imposter syndrome. So you think about your particular person on this step number 3 point in your guide. You want to write down, just kind of identify the key pain points that your particular audience is dealing with, and then write the effect of that. What's the effect of that pain point, and what is manifesting in their life because of that fear, because of that frustration, because of that confusion, because of that lack of clarity, because of that doubt? This is powerful. This is a powerful thing to realize, and it leads us directly into step number 4. And step number 4 is to design your emotional trigger. Now, designing your emotional trigger is about intentionally planning what type of emotion you want to trigger in your target customer, specifically to offset their negative emotion. And this is so powerful. So for me, one of the things that I'm really, really good at is I'm very, very good at taking tough subjects and breaking them down into very simple steps. And I think those guys that are my clients, you would agree with that. That's one of the things I'm just really, really good at, is taking a very difficult subject, a very difficult process, and breaking it down into very simple terms where you're like, wow, I guess it doesn't have to be that hard. I think I actually know what I need to do with this thing, right? So I help you work through that process. So one of the things that I'm very good at is clarity. Clarity is an emotion. So clarity for me, clarity offsets confusion. Clarity offsets frustration. Clarity offsets feeling defeated in some cases. Clarity can also, in some cases, eliminate fear. So then if I go back to my target consumer and I look at their pain points, and if their core pain points are frustration, confusion, doubt, feeling defeated, limiting beliefs, all those things, and I'm like, you know what? If I can just get you some clarity, I can check like 5 of those off your box and get you moving forward. Right? So clarity offsets those. Another thing that I'm very good is vision. I'm very good at I'm a visionary. That's a gifting from the Lord. I think the Lord gives me a gift of vision. And those guys that have been working with me this week, you probably see that from me, where you send me one email with a couple paragraphs and I send you a voicemail like, oh, you know what you can do, man? And I'm like, and I get excited because, it's genuine excitement because like you tell me a little bit about you and I'm like, wow, do you know what you could do? And I want to get you to see that. So I'm a visionary, and vision's powerful. Right? Because vision can offset lack of clarity. Vision can offset confusion. Vision offsets, and a lot of times, frustration. Vision can also offset procrastination. Procrastination is huge in people, no matter what your niche is, no matter what your lane is, because a lot of times people procrastinate because they don't know what to do, or they don't know. A lot of times people procrastinate because they think that the actions they think they should do, they're not really sure that they're going to pan out because they can't see the big picture. You know, the Bible says without a vision, people perish. And I think it absolutely applies to business as well, that if people don't have a vision for where they can go, the likelihood of them getting anywhere near that is slim to none. So I want to cast vision. So going back to this point number 4, to design your emotional trigger, after you've defined the emotional pain points that you know your audience is dealing with, then you want to think about what emotions you want to intentionally trigger in people that are going to start knocking some of their negative ones off. And that's how you get people moving forward. Because having a plan and knowing what you need to be working on right now and how that fits into the big picture of your goals and experiencing some wins and seeing progress, all of that stuff for me will help my clients offset doubt, limiting beliefs, frustration, insecurity, feeling defeated. So I'm really, really good at helping people plan, helping people visualize, and getting clarity at knowing what next step they need to take. So if you guys can see where I'm going with this, you need to identify the greatest barriers and the most significant walls that are standing in the way of your target consumer. And then you strategically start knocking those walls down by engaging them with the right type of emotion that you want to inspire them. Again, going back to my quote that I shared with you from Bill Russell, success is the result of consistently practicing winning skills to develop winning actions to develop winning skills. So this is an intentional process. And once you recognize it and kind of once you know what's behind the JC Pro curtain, then you see it. Like when you watch my live broadcast every single day, you're like, I see what he's up to today. He's casting vision today. That's what he's doing. I can see he's targeting those newbies today. He's trying to get them inspired. He's bringing their pain points up to the surface and then squashing them with clarity, right? So you can start seeing the method behind my madness, and you see how it attracts. So defining your emotional trigger is a powerful one. Step number 5. Step number 5 is to create an engaging content map. I gave you guys a resource. Hopefully you guys were able to print it out. I created this map for you And in case any of y'all missed it, you can go to there's a bit.ly link, bit.ly/client conversion. You can print both of those PDFs out. This map, you can use this as a guide to plan out your content. So once I've identified the key pain points of my target audience, and then I've identified the emotional trigger that I want to stir up. I have a good idea of who my target consumer is. Now I'm going to put together a nice little formula of attraction. So this is what we're going to talk about an engaging content map. And this really doesn't matter what kind of business you're in. This doesn't mean, oh, here he goes, he's going to tell me I got a live broadcast every single day. No, I mean, I love live broadcasting. I would love for you to live broadcast every single day, but I get that's not practical for everybody. But what you can do is open your business for business, people. Listen, if you are a business that is driven, especially in the online space, if you didn't post anything today, you weren't open for business. Like you gotta do things to flip your open sign on and give people an opportunity to connect to you. Now, Justin, was sharing the cat video from YouTube count? No, the cat video did not count. You need to create something that actually is going to get people talking to you and engaging with you. So again, keeping in mind emotional pain points and your emotional triggers, what kind of content can you create that will do that? And you think about, you want to attract, write these things down if you're taking notes. You want to attract the right consumers through their targeted pain points. You want to engage them with valuable information, basically get their attention. And then you want to trigger them with your positive emotion to offset their negative. And that's what gets them taking action. I'm going to say that again. You want to attract them, the right customers, through their targeted pain points. You want to engage them with valuable information to get their attention. And then you want to trigger them with your positive emotion to offset their negative, and that's what gets them taking action towards you. So for example, let me give you a couple examples, all right? So let's just take this one day at a time, all right? So let's say I'll start on Monday. I'll give you like a 7-day look of what this looks like for me. So let's say on Monday, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a post to engage that right consumer, because you said, Justin, you got to attract them. You're right, I got to attract them. So I'm going to do a post on Monday. So my post on Monday is, let's be like, let's see if I can find some goal-driven entrepreneurs, because that's my people, right? I need to find some of these people. I may not know yet what stage or season they're in, but let's see if I can find some go-getters. So I'll do a post on Monday. So maybe I'll do a post. I might even do this like on a Sunday night. So let's say I do this post, and I'll do a post that says, how many of my friends are committed to doing more, accomplish more, and acquiring more, and impacting more than they ever have before, with an inspiring photo? Who's my go-getters? And I'll just do that post. I'll do a nice inspirational photo. How many of my friends are committed to doing more, accomplishing more, acquiring more, and impacting more this year than they ever have before? I'll get a ton of interaction on that post. People will be like, yeah, me. Now, if you're a goal-getter, you will, right? I mean, how many of y'all, show of hands, how many of y'all would comment on that if you saw that coming through? You would, because that feels good to you, right? You're like, heck yeah, Justin, I'm a go-getter. This is going to be a new year for me. So you would comment on that, and you drop that thing out there, and then I'm going to be like, then as soon as Lindy comments on that, then I'm going to respond to Lindy, and I'm going to be like, yeah, girl, go get it. 2020 is your year. And then Maggie's going to comment, and then Chris is going to comment, and Kathy, and all y'all are going to comment, and then I'm going to comment back, and I'm going to stir up some dialogue on that thing. And then Facebook's going to be like, whoa, people love this thing. This is cool. Let's show it to some more people. And then everybody starts commenting on it, and I get all kinds of content, all kinds of engagement. But every single person that comments on that post is my target consumer, because I asked the right question. You see that? Now, the funny thing about Facebook is once you figure out kind of how Facebook works, it's kind of fun to play their game with them. Like, everybody gets all freaked out about the algorithm and all the stuff. And I'm like, I like the algorithm because I just know exactly what to do with it. And, I know that if I'm going to do a video tomorrow on whatever subject, then today I need to ask a question to get those people talking to me, because I know if these people will comment and like on my post today, Facebook will show them my video tomorrow when I go live. So today I want to get them talking to me. so that tomorrow when I go live, they're going to get a notification, Justin's live, because you commented on my thing yesterday. And if you don't, Facebook, the funny thing about Facebook, y'all may notice that y'all may notice that you may go through a period of time where all of a sudden you just like Aunt Susie disappeared, and you never see her anymore. Like, you're talking to your husband or your wife and you're like, where's Aunt Susie? Like, I haven't seen her in a long time. Is she still alive? And then you go to her Facebook page and there she is, posting every day, doing your regular. And you're like, why am I not seeing any of her stuff? Is because you never interact with any of her stuff. And after a while, if you stop interacting with somebody, Facebook will stop showing it to you. But as soon as you go to her page and you actually click on her page, then guess what happens tomorrow? Now here comes Aunt Susie all up in your feed all over again. Just because you went to her page, Facebook's like, oh, you like her again. We'll start showing her to you again. So the trick with Facebook is to get people interacting with you, get the right people interacting with you. So for me, Monday, I'm going to do a post. How many of my friends, how many of my go-getters are aiming to accomplish more, blah, 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 blah. Inspiring photo, drop your comments. Here y'all come. Perfect. Now I'm going to interact with you. So the other thing that I'll do, say on Monday, and I've actually just recently started doing this, and I'm going to give all credit to my beautiful bride because it was her idea. She's the one that told me to do this. And she's like, Justin, can I tell you something? I said, yeah, sure. And she said to me, you should do stories. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, I don't want to do stories. She's like, you should do stories because people like personal and they like behind the scenes and they like just real life stuff. And she's like, everything that you do is all nice, little perfectly formatted with a nice little bow on it. She's like, you should just do some real life stuff and some stories. I'm like, okay, I'll do some stories. So I've been doing stories for a couple weeks. And the funny thing is you get an entirely different level and kind of engagement on stories than you do on regular content. It's different. How many of y'all are doing stories? Anybody? Hand up if you're doing stories. Oh, Celia, you should be doing stories. Just do it. It's just, you got to. Charlotte's doing them. Like, stories are fun. And it's the way of the world, y'all. It's people. It's people want instant. People want behind the scenes. They want personal. But it adds a certain level of like personal that you don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Because I like to be so polished with everything. Everything's very clean. Everything's very polished. I have a hard time being unpolished. Is anybody like that? That's me. Lisa's with me. Like, I have a hard time being unpolished. I don't like it. I just like being, I like my setup and I like the way everything looks. It just looks nice. And that's a good part about presentation and perception and all that, right? But I think there's a certain powerful level of just letting people just see you for who you are. Coach Lindy gives a question: is there a good way and time to go live? That's a great question. I'm going to write that down. Because that's a good dialogue question for the end of this. Is there? I don't want to get off subject, Lindy. That's why I'm writing this down. Is there a good day time to go live? Go live. Great question, Lindy. I'm going to answer that a little bit later. Okay. So stories. So Monday. So my content schedule. Let's say I'm going to do this post. My mission on a Monday is just to get people talking to me, the right people talking to me. So I'm going to do this post, and then I might do some stories throughout the day. And when I do stories, this is going to be a matter of I'm sharing stuff like some of my goals, maybe a goal for the day. Like, y'all, I posted last week. I had the opportunity to interview with the campaign team of a Republican senator that's running for office in 2020. And that was a no joke interview, by the way. Like, you want to have the strength and your resolve tested, interview with those people. They're crazy. Like, they're crazy. I had never had such an interview. It was 27 minutes long and it felt like 5 hours. It was like, am I being interrogated? It was crazy. It was good, but it was crazy. So I was getting ready. I was getting prepared for this interview. So I took a picture of like my proposal and posted that. And hey, y'all, interviewing with a senator today. Pretty cool. Tons of engagement on that. And then, I did stuff about my wife. I'm doing stories about projects that I'm working on, testimonials too, testimonials of people that I'm working with. So just snapshot and sharing little glimpses of just kind of what a day in the life of Justin looks like, and getting a ton of engagement from those things, and a different kind of engagement from what I normally get. So stories are powerful. So I asked a great question on Monday, all right? So then Tuesday, now let's be like, all right, let me see who I want to engage today. Maybe I want to engage the startup business owner that's a little nervous, trying to figure the whole thing out and not really sure where to start. I want to inspire them with some clarity and some vision. So maybe Tuesday, I'll do a live broadcast in the morning. And maybe Tuesday, my broadcast is like, maybe I do like seven simple yet powerful ways that you can generate more income working from home. That'll get that newbie, because that newbie's like, yeah, I'm trying to figure this out. Like, how can I really make some money from home and like retire myself from this job that I hate? Or how can I, make some money to help my husband pay some bills? And then all of a sudden here comes, Justin posts a thing on Monday. It says, my go-getters, and you comment on that. And all of a sudden here comes my video Tuesday morning, 7 simple yet powerful ways that you can generate more income working from home. And you're like, I'm in that broadcast. Tell me what you got, brother. And I come in there and I give you my 7 tips and I share you some valuable information, right? Maybe I do hashtag anyone can do this. And then within that broadcast, park there for a second. I want you to get this too with your content, because a lot of people get confused on this. Is that when you share content, your call to action does not have to benefit you all the time. What you always want it to do is benefit them. So, when you share lives and you do things to engage in the marketplace, you don't always have to be leading to an offer. You don't always have to be leading to your website. Oftentimes, and nowadays, majority of the time, my call to action is simply just to challenge you to take some action. So going back to my Tuesday live, let's say my Tuesday live is 7 simple yet powerful ways that you can generate more income working from home. Then maybe when I get done with that training, my call to action for the day is to be, all right, you've learned 7 things today. My call to action and my challenge for you guys today is to pick one thing, one of these that inspires you or intrigues you. I want you to do some research on it today, and then send me a few ideas, email me a few ideas, and just tell me what you're thinking, and I'll give you feedback free of charge. You tell me what you're interested in, give me some feedback, do a little bit of work, send me your ideas, and I will give you some thoughts. And I do this just like I've been doing with my challenge this week. You guys have been going through this free challenge with me. I give you a challenge for the day. I give you a whole bunch of work to do. Do the work. Show me that you're willing to do the work. You send me your feedback, and then based upon what I see, I record a quick little video or audio message, and I send it to you and give you my thoughts. That's tremendous for attraction, because you guys, do y'all agree with me that that's more than most, right? Isn't that more than most? People don't do that. And it's work. Yes, Gretchen, and thank you so much, Gretchen. I appreciate you. That it's work, but it's powerful. This is a business. It takes work. Like building relationships with customers and developing rapport with potential clients takes work. But I'm not about busy work. I'm about doing the right work. So I am busy, but I'm real busy doing the right work so I can make a big impact with every bit of work that I put into my business, because I'm very strategic about what I do. So the main thing that I have learned, the best way to get people taking steps towards you is to get them taking steps towards themselves first. That's a powerful process, right? If you can get people taking steps towards themselves when they're like, you know what, I think I'm possible. I think this might actually work for me. You know what? Justin's the one that got me moving. I should call him. You should call me. You should call me, right? So this is just Tuesday. I've already got people making moves. I'm only on day 2. So again, Tuesday, I'll do this great video, and I'm going to challenge y'all paying attention to my live. I'm going to be like, do some research, check some stuff out, and then send me some thoughts, and I'll give you some feedback. I'll do my live. And then again, throughout Tuesday, I'll trickle in some stories, some goals, some things that I'm working on, and just keep you seeing me. And every single time you open your app, you can see, there's a little bit of Justin. I'm just keeping you in my mind, right? So then I'm going to go to Wednesday. What do I want to do Wednesday? Well, Wednesday, so Tuesday, I engage those newbies. Wednesday, maybe I want to shift, and now maybe Wednesday I want to go after the kind of in the middle startups. So maybe I want to go after today. I want to go after the ones that are a little bit more established. They've done some work on their brand. Maybe they got a website. Maybe they've shared. Maybe they're already doing content. Maybe they made some money, but they're feeling stuck. They're feeling frustrated. They're feeling overwhelmed. They're feeling like, why can't I seem to win? How the heck am I going to get to my next level? I don't know if this is going to work for me. Blah 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 blah. They spiral down into all the negativity. I'm like, I need to get them. Because yesterday I talked to the newbies. They're busy. They're thinking. They're happy. Let's go to the next one. All right. So the next one on Wednesday, I'm going to do a live on Wednesday. And on Wednesday, what am I going to say? Wednesday, I'm going to say, this will be my live. Wednesday, I'm going to do 5 things that you must let go of if you want to experience your next level in 2020. Hashtag new year. Hashtag new you. Hashtag let's go do this. 5 things you must let go of if you want to experience your next level in 2020. That's going to stir up that person that's not sure that they want to keep on going. That's going to stir up that person that's like, I don't know what the heck is going on. It's that's going to make them be like, what is it? What do I got going on? What do I got going on that's keeping me here? Why can't I seem to break through? Why can't I seem to break free? And I'm going to bring up I'm going to bring up 5 really bad habits that keep most of those. But now I'm going to bring up their pain points, because I already mapped out their pain points, so I know what their problems are. I'm like, let's just talk about your pain points for a second. Let's talk about your limiting beliefs. Let's talk about your imposter syndrome. Let's talk about all that bull crap that you got going on between your ears. Let's sort through that and start getting rid of some of that stuff. So then I'll go through that broadcast, and at the end of the broadcast, my call to action that day is going to be like, pick one. I want you to pick one of these things that you know straight up is your problem. And I want you to commit for the next 30 days that you're going to eliminate that habit from your life. And I want you to tell me what it is for accountability. Once you decide, I want you to message me through Facebook Messenger. Justin, thanks so much for the broadcast today. I commit to eliminating procrastination from my life in the next 30 days. And I'll check in with you. And I will too. I do this all the time. If let's say Rosalind's like, you know what, Justin, I have committed to dropping negative words from my life, and I'm going to speak only positive words of affirmation when I wake up in the morning. And Rosalind sends me that message. I'll be like, you got it, girl. I'm going to check in with you every Friday, and I'm going to ask you how your week is going. And I will do that. I will put it in my calendar, text Rosalind, ask her how her week was. Bing, Friday morning. Rosalind, what's up, girl? Checking in on you. How was your mouth this week? Justin, it wasn't good. Fix it. What do you got to do to be better next week? What is the problem? Justin, I'll be better. I'm going to talk to you next Friday, and I better get a different report. You got it. That takes me 30 seconds to do that. But how impactful, right? Like, Rosalind hadn't paid me at that point. It's like, that's like, geez. But then when she starts experiencing positive change in her life, and she starts really making some moves in her life, she's like, man, Justin has invested in me more than anybody that I can think of. And this is the point to write down if you're taking notes, y'all. And this is a Justin quote, is that I believe wholeheartedly that I need to be investing in my people long before they'll invest in me. What does that mean? Doesn't mean that I need to be spending money on you, but it does mean that I need to be investing my time in you, my energy in you, my resources in you, my training in you. I need to be investing in you before you're going to be willing to invest in me. Coach Lindy says, do you always text with audio? No, I do not. It depends on the platform, and it depends on the conversation. So actually, it's a great question, Lindy. Thank you. One of the I see, Amanda, I see your question too. Hang on just a second, girl. I actually use Facebook Messenger for everything, for a lot. And I send audio messages through Messenger all the time. It's very quick. It's very easy. However, on Messenger, you're limited to 60 seconds. So if you're a talker, like I can sometimes be, 60 seconds is not enough. 60 seconds is nice for a nice little quick greeting, or a nice little reply, or a nice little compliment or something like that. But like, for some of you guys, most of y'all throughout this week, you got audio text from me. That's because I had some stuff to talk about, and I couldn't get it done in 60 seconds. So I just record that quick video clip or audio clip, and then I text it to you that way. But audio is powerful, and it's a very, very effective way to cross an emotional barrier with people. People super appreciate it. This is how I make all new connections. So if I'm doing a live broadcast right now, let's say I'm doing a live broadcast right now, and let's say 95% of y'all know who I am and you're hanging with me, but let's say Ginger's new. So let's say Ginger, I say, y'all, listen, if it's your first time, I would love to know it's your first time. Give me a hashtag first time in the chat stream. And Ginger's like, hashtag first time with a little heart, love your content. I'm like, heart you right back. And then I'm like, sweet, I can't wait to check out Ginger. So then while I'm sitting here talking, I'm going to write down Ginger's name on my notes. And then I'm going to teach and I'm going to talk. And as soon as I'm done, I'm going straight to Facebook and I'm going to look up Ginger and I'm going to send her a friend request. And I'm like, let's see if I can get her. Let's see if I can get her real quick. I'm like, Ginger, bam, let's wait. And she's like, bing, she accepted. I love it. Let's go into Messenger. And I'm going to go into Messenger and I'm going to hold the little microphone button and be like, Ginger, listen, y'all. Not y'all. Ginger, what's up, girl? I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being on my broadcast this morning. Loved having you in the room. Loved the interaction. It really means a lot to me as a broadcaster to have great people like you feeding me and being a part of the broadcast. So I'm super excited to get connected with you. Thank you so much for accepting my friend request. I hope you have a beautiful day, a blessed day. Can't wait to get to know you better. And I'll see you all around the web. Take care and God bless. Bam. That's like a 45-second message. Set that thing off. And then Ginger's like, what? This guy? I was just watching him on his thing and it was great. And then all of a sudden he sent me a friend request, and 30 seconds later he's sending me a voice message. This is nuts. And that's the point. And then not all the time. I always get a response to that every time. Somebody will be like, thank you so much, love the content, whatever. But then some people, maybe Ginger's like, man, Justin, the content this morning was exactly what I needed. Thank you so much. Now she's opened her door. I'm like, cool. What type of business do you have? I would love to know. Now I can dig in a little bit. I see Charlotte says Rosetta's response is still the best. I want to see Rosetta's. Did I miss Rosetta? Is amazing. I did this to Rosetta, by the way. And Rosetta, she's amazing, beautiful, beautiful soul, beautiful woman. I did this to Rosetta. And I remember when Rosetta first came across me, in case you don't know of Rosetta, she's amazing. Rosetta is a beautiful Black woman, just amazing heart for the Lord. And she came across me on Periscope. And I love the Lord, but I got tattoos and earrings. And I'm a white boy. And she came across me on Periscope. And she's like, who is this guy? And Rosetta, I can't remember. Was it the topic? I think it was the topic. It was whatever my topic was caught her attention. It wasn't me. She was like, she was eyeballing me. She's like, I don't know about this guy. But it was the topic that caught her attention. And she's like, I think I'm just going to give him just a second. And so she clicked on that video and she hung out for that whole broadcast. Listen to me. And she was able to get past my ears and my arms and actually listen to what I was saying. And I think I actually I brought up the Lord and my love for the Lord in the broadcast. And I did this to Rosetta. She put in hashtag first time. And I did this to her. I looked her up. Rosetta, how old are you? I would love for you to tell us if you don't mind. I would love to know. So I'm like, I look her up and Rosetta, I'm like, I got to go easy on her. I don't want to scare her away. 70. Rosetta's 70, okay? So, you guys can imagine. Oh, man. So I go to Facebook. Bam. I sent her a friend request. Bing. She accepts it. Here we go. I sent her a voice message. And if you could, man, I should bring Rosetta on, let her tell the story because it's so funny. But she was like, she could not believe that this guy went so far as to seek her out and send her a message. And now Rosetta is one of my very favorite clients in the world. She's just amazing. And but it all started with me just being intentional about pursuing her. So it's very, very powerful. It's a very powerful step. Great questions, y'all. I want to see who else asked me a question. Let me look real quick. Question, Maggie. Are you doing those stories on your business or personal profiles? I've been kind of dabbling with both, Maggie. Great question. I've got my Instagram and my Facebook link. So I actually post my story on Instagram and it shares it to my Facebook. So I've been doing it that way. And then I also just been doing some stories through my business page singularly by themselves. And I'm just kind of playing with it, just kind of messing around. But I like anything that multi-purposes. So Instagram to Facebook is a nice way to do it because you can kind of capture both audiences, and I'm getting interaction from both places. Amanda asked me a question too. Amanda, if you don't mind, girl. Oh, there it is. I found it. Amanda says, is there a formula Did you spell that right? SUGGE? Is that what you meant to say? Oh, suggestion. I see it. Is there a formula or suggestion for how many times a day we should be posting? It's a great question. The answer is enough, but not too much. It's really, I don't know, it's quality over quantity, you know? And you kind of got to figure that rhythm out for yourself. You got to kind of figure out how much is enough to get the right interaction, but not be too noisy. Because the thing is, get this, y'all, this is important. With Facebook content alone, just Facebook, all right? With Facebook content alone, Facebook measures every post you make, every one. Okay. So what does that mean? That means if you are a chronic sharer, for example, you share everything, like anything and everything that comes across your feed. You're like, oh, that's cute. Share. Oh, there's a great post by Daniel. Share. Love it. Oh, there's another video by Justin. Share. 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 You share all the time. You'll notice that when you share something, you don't get a lot of interaction on shares, right? It doesn't really matter how good the thing is you shared. You don't get a lot of interaction on shares. But Facebook considers a share to be a post. Okay? So if you share something, you're actually posting something. You're just posting something somebody else posted, but it's still considered a post. So if you're share, and you're not getting comments or interaction on any of those, Facebook's like, you've been posting a lot and nobody likes your stuff. Nobody seems to interact with your stuff. We're going to show them less of it because nobody seems to interact. It's true. It's true, right? And that's why that's why all of a sudden you get in a mode, right, Charlotte? Where all of a sudden you're feeling like you are in ghost town. Like, is anybody here? Knock, knock, knock. Wake up, people. Why is nobody looking at? And this is why y'all trying to figure out too, those guys like you network marketers, where you got like that one person that they post something and they get like a bazillion comments and likes, and then you post the same thing and you got crickets. Nothing. You can't get anybody. You're like, what is the problem? The problem is Facebook thinks your content sucks. So they don't want to show it to anybody. So you got to be super careful about how often you post, because if you post too much and if all the posts you make don't get a lot of engagements, Facebook's like, nobody really likes your stuff, so we're going to show them less of it. And then tomorrow you go live and you're like, hey guys, I'm live. And there's nobody there. And you're like, well, this sucks. I don't want to do it live anymore. Maybe I'm not cut out for this thing. Nobody's paying attention to anything I'm doing anyway. No, you just suck at content. You need to stop posting so much and post the right stuff at the right time so you can get some more engagement. So to answer Amanda's question, you want to be careful not to overpost, and you want to be really intentional about what you do post so that what you do post does get interaction. And anytime, if I ever post something that does not get the kind of engagement that I was expecting it to get, I'll delete it. Out. It's gone. If that thing didn't work the way I thought it was going to, it's out. So I'm very cognizant about what I post because Facebook measures everything that I do. So going back to my content, we've talked about, somebody else had a question. Dia says, do you have a personal and business Facebook page? Do you post on both? Yes, I do. And I do post on both, Dia. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. We might go, I'm going to write Facebook business versus personal in my notes. And if we have time, we've been on an hour already. Is this valuable to you though, y'all? This is good. It's good context. Okay. I told you I like to talk. I told you I did. I warned you. Facebook biz versus personal. And if we have time, we may talk about that. All right. So going back to my content. Monday, I did a great post. Attract the right people. Tuesday, simple ways to generate more income working from home, going after that new entrepreneur. Wednesday, I'm going to go after the more established entrepreneur with frustration, with pain points. I'm going to intermix some stories in there. Now, Wednesday, I want to do some more preempting. So I do lives every single day, but I kind of do posts like every other day, every couple days or so. So let's say on Wednesday, I want to see if I can get some more conversation flowing, get some more people talking to me, because this is the other thing. Is usually I save my really high value content for the end of the week. Because notoriously, the end of the week is the best time to close. That's usually when most people are in kind of closing mindset. In a lot of cases, it's Fridays because Fridays are paydays. So if you can really kind of position yourself to engage all week long and then get yourself set up with some really high value content on Friday, you might have more opportunity to close if you're kind of engaging people on Friday. So let's say Wednesday, I'm like, all right, I want to get some more people talking to me. Let me do a post and see what I can do. So let's say Wednesday, I do a post that says, maybe I'll ask a question. How many of my friends are planning to start or are currently operating a local or online business? I would love to know. Tell us who you are and why we need you. Links are okay. You'd comment on that. Like, cool, a little bit of free exposure. Let me see what I can do. I do this one every once in a while, and I get a ton of interaction on it. People will come in. Yeah, Justin, I'm a salon owner, and I specialize in doing esthetician work, or I specialize in weaves or whatever. And here's my link to my website. Cool, love it. So good to know you. I'll check it out. And you'll get people that'll comment and drop their stuff. So what I'm really trying to connect to is I'm trying to find out who out here has a somewhat established business that I might be able to get some content in front of their face. So I'm going to engage them in that way. So then Thursday, let's go after that more seasoned business owner. And so Wednesday, my post is going to kind of get the people that are established with a website, with a brand, that know what they're doing. Let's engage them. So then Thursday, I'll do a broadcast that maybe it says, 3 crucial things that will position you to scale your business to your next level in this new year. If you apply them, #most won't. So now I'm going to kind of push on, I've been wanting to scale up and streamline my business. And then he throws a #most won't in there. Oh, he's straight challenging me. He's telling me that I may not be doing these things. I better see what he's talking about. And then I'm going to come in and share some valuable stuff that you didn't think about. And you're like, geez, really? I hadn't even thought about that. And again, my call to action. So maybe my call to action that day is I'm going to straight call you guys out and challenge you to identify the greatest need that you have in your business, or the greatest, maybe I say need. I don't know if need's the right word. Maybe I'll say, maybe need's the right word. Maybe I'll say, put in the chat, at the end of the broadcast, and be like, I'm going to challenge you with one thing from this broadcast is I want you to put in the chat stream one single thing you must absolutely apply in your business if you want to scale up this year. Put it in the chat stream. I'd love to know. And then I'll get these people that are saying, I need to hire a VA. I need to systemize my income streams. I need to create an extra income stream. I need to be more consistent with my content. I need to blah, blah, blah. People will tell me, and awesome. Now I can go back in the chat and I can start interacting with them and start cultivating those people and see who might be able to help from that. The question, best time of day to post. Great question. Honestly, statistically speaking, all the info stuff that you find online that I've done research on all that. They'll basically tell you like some of the most highly active times to post are 5 a.m. in the morning, 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and around 7 to 8 o'clock at night. But if I post something at 5 a.m. in the morning, it's 2 a.m. on the West Coast, or it's 4 a.m. Central. So I don't know. I got clients all over the world, and I have an audience all over the world. So for me, I post when it's convenient for me. I really do. And I stopped worrying about that a long time ago. For a while, I was trying to figure out like the perfect formula of when to post and how to post. But I just realized everybody's on their own schedule and everybody's in their own time zone. So it really doesn't matter, in my opinion. Just what I tell my clients, and I got a bunch of clients in here that'll verify this. What I tell you is I am way more worried about your consistency than I am about the time and day at which you post. So all I look for is you put a plan together and be consistent with whatever you can be consistent with. That's all that matters to me is consistency. So time of day, in my opinion, really doesn't matter. Steven asked me the question, how many words a day do I talk? A lot, Steven. A lot, okay? All right, so Thursday we talked about that when we talked about, I'm sprinkling some stories throughout the day. So now Friday now I come with some really, really high value content. So Friday, I'm going to say, maybe I say, I'm going to give you my 5-step client attraction formula to get your first or next paying client in the next 7 days. Hashtag success secrets. I've actually done that training before and it's crazy. 5-step client attraction formula to get you your first or next paying client in the next 7 days, guaranteed if you apply. Hashtag success secrets. And it doesn't, all three entrepreneurs, no matter whether you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced, all three of those would be like, I got to see what he's talking about. If I can learn how to attract clients that confidently, I got to learn how to do that. So then in that one, Gretchen's in. Tell me, Justin, share the goods, right? So if that's me, and if when I'm sharing that content, that's high value, right? High value content. So I'm aiming for the end of the week now to kind of create something that engages all of my people, no matter what stage you're in. High value, big audience, a lot of shares. And then that one is the one where I'm going to make a call to action that applies to me. So in that particular call to action, I'm going to say, guys, listen, I have a free strategy. Or I'm going to say, guys, listen, I have a strategy call. And my 1 hour strategy call is $200, where I'll spend 60 up to 90 minutes with you working on a strategy in your business to move you forward. For 48 hours, I'm going to waive my fee and do a strategy call for free. If you are serious about your business and you're really trying to figure out how to scale, I'm going to give you a free strategy call if I hear from you in the next 48 hours. Put I'm in the chat stream if you want to take advantage of that. I'm only going to take 10 people. And then the first 10 to get it, got it. Boom, I'll get all 10 right there in a video. Boom, boom, boom. Perfect. I'll message you. We'll set up a time to talk. So then I'm going to get people on a call and talk to them about what they got going on and see if I can help them. So you see kind of how that whole week worked all in conjunction with another. It's very well planned. It's very well thought out, but it all stems back to, I know what I'm selling. I know who my target audience is. I know what types of stages these people are in. I know their pain points. I know what emotions I need to stir up, and all of my content is created to tie all that together. Does that make sense? Okay, good stuff. So that is number 5, is creating an engaging content map. So if you take this planner, this is kind of how I map out my content. And I go Monday through Friday. It doesn't mean that you have to fill out every single one of these. Doesn't mean that you have to do 3 posts every single day. You could do more posts a day. But in my personal opinion, if you start doing more than 3, it might start getting a little bit too busy. However, you may do like 1 post on Instagram, 2 posts on Facebook, 1 on LinkedIn, and 5 tweets a day. So you may have 7, 8, 10 posts throughout the day. So you got to figure that out for yourself. I'm going to just challenge you with making sure that you're not doing too much. You're doing more of the right stuff in the right place with the right message in front of the right people. All right. I'm going to take a quick drink of my water. So, and on this content map too, this little bar across the top lists out the 7 steps of my 8-step client conversion formula. So you can kind of keep yourself in mind where you're at in that process and what you're trying to do with that. All right. Number 6, and we're going to keep on jamming. Number 6 is to design a valuable hook. So once I've mapped out my content and I know how I'm going to engage these people, now I want to design a hook that's going to get these people to take a good first powerful step with me. So the question I ask you is, what is the perfect starting point for a customer to take a first step with me? If you can create a very clear and easy, simple step for people to take, it'll make such a difference in your ability to attract clients. And honestly, it might seem so simple, but so many people don't. I mean, I ask people all the time. People will be like, Justin, I'm trying to figure out how to make my lives more effective, or I'm trying to figure out how to generate more business from this or that or with it, whatever. And one of the first questions I'll ask is, what's your starting point? What's the first step you want them to take? I don't know. They could go to my website, or they could, fill out my questionnaire or whatever. Amanda says, is this a freemium or a paid offer? It could be both. Actually, Amanda, what the main question is not necessarily whether it's free or whether it's paid. The big question is, what is the best starting point? So for me, I rotate this. So in some cases, it's a discovery call. Now I call mine an ignition call, and I don't use that. I use that term carefully because it's overdone, right? Everybody's got a discovery call. Everybody's got an introductory call. And so anything that the consumer is used to hearing all the time, you need to stay away from or reinvent it. Because when it's like webinars. Everybody's got a bad taste in their mouth about webinars because we've all been on the webinar, right? We know what happens on a webinar. You're gonna see an awesome pitch that's gonna be like, oh, you're gonna come here and I'm gonna teach you how to turn $100 into $1 million in 10 minutes, and it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna change your life. No strings attached. It's gonna be beautiful. And you're like, all right, I'll sit and listen to that. But you know full well you're going to sit there. The first 20 minutes of the webinar is going to talk about how great that person's life is. The next 40 minutes is going to kind of tell you some good information. And then the last 40 minutes is going to try to sell you something that you probably can't afford or don't want to afford. And you're going to hang up the webinar and be like, that was stupid. That was a complete waste of an hour and 20 minutes of my time. That's how every webinar goes. That's why I don't do webinars. I could do a good webinar, but I don't want to do a webinar because as soon as you say webinar, that's what people think of because they've all been on the webinar. It's the same thing with discovery call. Everybody's been on a discovery call. Everybody's had the discovery call. And I think most people are kind of bad at discovery calls. Like, I don't want to discover you. I want to help you. I want to move you forward. So be careful of how you word those things. I called mine an ignition call. And the reason why that particular term I use is because my mission is to ignite you. I want to understand your gift, understand your passion, understand what you're trying to accomplish, and I want to ignite you to move forward and to take some steps towards that goal. So that first step, that starting point might be an ignition call. The other thing that I do too is I do the strategy call thing. So there's a difference between an ignition call and a strategy call. So I'll just tell you kind of my format, because this may have worked for some of y'all. Some of you guys may be trying to figure this out, because what I've had this before is I've done I've done a discovery call or an ignition call with somebody, and at the end of that call they weren't ready to sign up. They didn't have the means, didn't have the funds, or still had to figure something out. No problem, they're ready. So then 6 months later, they're engaging with your live content, and now they're finding themselves moving forward or motivated or whatever. And then I happen to bring up the fact is, hey guys, if you're interested, I'm doing some ignition calls, and I'd love to chat with you if you're looking for some help. And they're like, oh yeah, I'd love to. And they reach out to you again, like, Justin, we talked 6 months ago, and I this has happened and that has happened and blah blah blah, and I'd love to talk to you again. I'm like, I bet you would. So you got to be careful for the people that will continue to try to consume your time. So I only do a free call one time. That's it. So if I've had that discovery call or that ignition call once, then if somebody reaches out to me again and wants to have another call, I'll tell them your next step now would be a strategy call. And I charge $200 for a strategy call that usually goes 60 to 90 minutes. And because I know you, I don't have to learn who you are anymore. I know who you are. I know what you're going through. If you're going to get on another call with me, we're going to strategize where we go from here and how I move you forward in your business. So I do a strategy call. It's $200. And then if you, once we get done with that strategy call, if you decide that you want to move forward and invest in one of my packages or services, I apply the $200 as a credit to your purchase. But then if we get done with the strategy call and you're like, no, I'm not in a position to hire you, cool, take the strategy, go do your thing, and $200 covers my time. So occasionally I'll tee up a strategy call for free. I don't do that very often. That's rare. But usually when I do that is if I've just done some really high value training and I have a primed audience in front of me that I know are very likely people that are going to want to move forward, I'll tee up a strategy call for free, and I'll communicate. This is not a discovery call. This is not just a chit chat. This is time where you come to this call planning to get something out of it. If you call me and you're in the car, I'll hang up on you. If there's kids screaming in the background, I'll hang up on you. If you're in the grocery store, I'll hang up on you. This is a strategy call. You need to be prepared to discuss strategy and be ready to move forward in your business. And it's a different type of person that you will attract for that. So Discovery call, strategy call. Another good hook that you can use is like a questionnaire, which I have these on my website as well. So in some cases, if I have people that I want to give them a first step to take, is I'll send them to a questionnaire. So on my website, if you go to justincaplanpro.com/apply, that'll take you to my that'll take you to a page on my website that basically describes how I do business and how you can work with me. And it's an application where you can click and you can apply, and it takes you through a series of questions. It just kind of asks you where you're at, what you're up to, why you're looking for a coach, a little bit about your business. Have you ever worked with a coach before? Just ask you some really good questions to kind of vet you out and get you really thinking. So that's a great first step you can take. A free resource or some sort of a strategy guide is a great thing to do too. So if you have, say, a signature program that you're launching, that's your fee program, you can create like a simpler getting started piece of that. Or if you're like, you know what, if I could just get my audience taking these first steps first and go through that, do that for free. And then if you complete that, that might lead them into your offer. So a good valuable hook might be a free resource of some sort of a getting started guide. A challenge is good. You know, I've been doing a 7-day challenge all this week. It's a hook. It's a free process that you go through working with me. Challenges are a lot of work, but they're highly impactful because they're effective, right? If any of y'all don't know me and if you've never met me before and this challenge was the first experience you've ever had with me, it's effective, right? I mean, we feel like we know each other because it's very personal. You're able to build trust and rapport really, really quickly because my mission, and this is what I'll tell you with everything, when you're creating a hook, whatever your hook is this is an appetizer. Your hook needs to be an appetizer that's going to give them a taste of the whole meal, but it also needs to give them the opportunity to experience you at your best, because it's positioning. You know, it's about getting people to be like, yeah, I can see that you can help me. I dig your style. It's also an alignment of your values, and you're just trying to figure out if you jive, because some people you just don't jive with. You know, not every client's a good client. Not everyone's for you, and sometimes going through situations like this, you know, Gretchen talking about the know, like, and trust factor. Absolutely right. It gives you an opportunity just to let people experience you. That's why I love doing challenges. I don't do them all the time. I usually only do about 2 challenges a year because usually by the time I'm done with the challenge, I don't have a voice left because I've been talking so much. But it's effective. It's a very effective, and it's just a good way it's a good way to give your business a lot of momentum doing something like this. Another thing that's good to do if a 5 or 7-day challenge is too labor intensive or too time consuming for you, doing a free workshop or a free training is also a great, like this. You know, I could just be doing just this. Maybe I say I'm going to do a free workshop free for anybody who wants to join in, and high value, engaging, helpful, maybe a little bit of shock value in there, and just really do something. And basically you want people to be like, can't believe this guy's doing this for free. It's crazy, and it's effective. So a hook is something that's just high value, effective, and gets people taking a step towards you. Does that make sense? Okay. So design a valuable hook is number 6. Number 7, we're going to roll this out, y'all. Number 7 is give them an experience. Give them an experience. One of my favorite quotes, and it's my quote, is if you serve effectively, the sale happens naturally. And it's one of my favorite quotes because the Lord gave that one to me, and the Lord gave it to me not in words, but through an experience where this was 4 years ago in my business, and I was fairly new to the online space, and I was growing and had a lot of good things going on in my business, and I was feeling like I had things under control, and I was feeling like this is good. I'm growing, I'm thriving, I got a lot going on. And the Lord's like, I'll show you how much control you have. And he shut the door on my business for 30 days. I went 30 days straight without making a penny in my business. I'm a sole income earner in my family, and I have 4 children. That will freak you right out. I went 30 days without making a dime, and I had to go through some growing pains in that season of my life, and there's some stuff that the Lord had to work on with me. And I did the work, and I had to figure all that stuff out. And I remember getting towards the end of that 30-day period, and I remember I was sitting in the tiny little office that I had at the time, and I had one of those kind of knock down, drag out conversations with the Lord. You know, usually a lot of times those happen behind the windshield of a car when something just happened, and you're like, "What are you doing here?" Like, you told me to do this. I felt like you told me to start this business, and I'm working and I'm pouring my heart and soul into this thing, and I can't figure out how to make this thing work, and I don't understand what's going on. I'm doing everything I believe I need to be doing. I'm not cutting any corners. I'm being excellent. I'm sitting here just telling the Lord what I think about him and about the fact that I haven't been able to make any money. And I felt like I got done belly aching, and I felt like I kind of get this picture of the Lord. I felt like the Lord's just standing here like, "Are you done? Like, let me know when you're going to shut up so I can just tell you what I think about what's going on here." And I just carrying on. I swear, that's what I felt like. I felt like the Lord was just like, "Are you done?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm done." And he's like, and I swear it was so clear to me. It was almost audible. The Lord said to me, "Stop selling and start serving." And I had become such a salesman, man, because I spent 15 years in corporate business, and I have been through every sales training that you can possibly get. I have been trained by the best because I had to be the best, and I had become a salesman, and I was getting confident in my own skin and in my own approach and in my worldly skills. And I'm like, I can sell this. I used to joke with my wife about the power of live streaming. Like, this is crazy. This is like fishing with dynamite. I can come out here and drop whatever I want, and it blows up, and all these people come in and start paying me. And I was getting confident in my ability. And the Lord's like, "I'll show you. Let me just remind you of who you are and who I am, and what this is really all about." And so I had to learn that. And he said to me, "Stop selling and start serving." And I wrote that down on a piece of paper. I said, "All right, Lord, I'm going to try your way. I'm going to stop trying to sell stuff, and I'm just going to make it my mission to serve people every day." And for those guys that have been following me from the very beginning, I shifted right there. It was May 2016. I shifted. Everything shifted. That's when my content changed. It's when my demeanor changed. It's when my approach changed. Everything changed right there. And that's when I went from this to this, steady, straight up, because I was able to approach my business by finding one person every single day that I could help. And that's what I learned. That's where this quote came from. If you serve effectively, the sale happens naturally. I don't chase people. I don't have to chase people, because my mission every single day is not to sell something. My mission every single day is to serve someone, is to find one person that I can impact on a daily basis. And it works. I promise you it works. When you shift your focus from what can I get today to what can I give today, it'll absolutely change your world. And the funny thing is it takes the pressure off. Like, it just takes the pressure off of you, because it is a pressure, isn't it? Like when you go into a sales call with someone, or you go out to do a live stream, and if you go into that call or that live or that meeting and your mind is wrapped around, "I've got to close this sale. I've got to close this sale." You just wear it like a cloak, and it's all over you, and you're stressed and you're pressured, and you're like, "How am I going to say the right thing? And how am I going to say, when am I going to say, when am I going to bring up the close?" But if you emotionally detach yourself from the outcome, and you're like, "You know what? I'm going to go into this meeting today to see how many people I can impact. Let's see how many ripples I can make today. Let's see how many broadcasts I can create today, or create this week, that are going to create some real meaningful change in people's lives. Let's see if I can get a breakthrough from someone today." I mean, that's how I approach my day every day. Is like, I want to see a breakthrough from someone today. I can't wait to get a testimonial today. I want to see who I can impact. I want to get someone shouting at me through their messenger. "Justin, I got it." And like, that's what I'm after. Like, that's where attraction really starts coming, is when you start getting it up here, that you're about serving people. Seek to give your audience an experience. This is number 7. Give your audience an experience more than they could have ever expected. And you won't have to convince anyone to invest in you, because they'll come to that conclusion on their own. And they do. They come to that conclusion on your own. All right. That's number 7. Last one. An hour and 23 minutes in. I told you I like to talk, but it's good, right? Y'all learning something? It's effective, isn't it? It's so good. Number 8 is provide them with an irresistible next step. Provide them with an irresistible next step. So in your guide, it's important for you. This number 8 ties back to number 1. I told you to begin with your end in mind. So you know what you're selling. What you need to do with this number 8 piece is you need to know. I don't even know if it's a matter of knowing. You need to believe. You need to believe in what you do. Like at your core. How many of y'all believe in what you do? Like sold out, you know it. You know you can impact lives, right? That's just I believe it. I am unwavering in what I do. You get that from me, right? I'm believable. Like you're like, that guy knows what he's doing and he believes it. Like that's just I believe in my gift. I believe in what I'm capable of. I know my processes work. I know my strategies are effective. And I believe in my gifting. I believe in my calling. I believe in what I'm capable of. I believe in you. A lot of times I believe in my clients more than they do. And I have to get them I sell them that vision. Be like, do you realize what's possible for you? Wake up. Like I want you to get out there and go do that thing that the Lord has called you to do. So when you get to this piece about providing them with an irresistible next step, it's about having a sold out belief in what you have created and what you have the ability to offer, and knowing full well how that's going to impact the life of the person that you have in front of you. So that's why I tell you, that's why I put on your guide to do feature and benefit. You want to outline the key components of what you want to offer to someone, and you want to be able to detail what that benefit is in their life. And I want you to get this. This is another very, very important piece of this process, y'all, is when you get to the point of making a recommendation to someone and providing them with that irresistible next step, you have to remember that you are not their financial advisor. I don't think any one of you guys are financial advisors. I'm looking at all your faces. I don't think anybody specializes in financial advising. If you specialize in financial advising, then yes, you are their financial advisor. But unless that's your specialty, you're not their financial advisor. You are their life coach. You are their business coach. You are their health coach. You are their whatever you are, whatever your thing is. You're that. Specialize in that. It's not your job to try to figure out what they can afford. It's your job to make the very best recommendation for what you know they need, unapologetically. When I talk to people and I get to the point with people and like, Justin, can you tell me about your services and what you do and how I could work with you? Absolutely. That's why I ask you a million questions about you, because I truly want to understand where you're coming from. I want to understand what your business is, what your goal is, what your struggles are, what your pain points are, what you're trying to accomplish. I want to know really what you need, because what I want to do is I want to be able to give you a very educated recommendation of what exactly it is that you need that I know I can provide. I don't want you spending one dime of your money or 1 second of your time on anything that's not necessary for you. So that's why I tailor all of my services. Everything that I do, every package that I sell, I tailor it specifically to the person that I'm talking to, because I personally, in my business, I cannot do a one-size-fits-all program, because every one of y'all are different. Every one of y'all have different needs. Every one of y'all have different strengths, talents, abilities, pain points, struggles. Every one of you guys are different. So I have to tailor my offer. So when I get to my irresistible next step, what I do is I create, or I recommend what I believe is exactly what you need. And then I explain that. And then I tell you, this is what that costs. And cost is not my problem. That's yours. It is, because I'm not trying to figure out, I wonder how much they might be able to afford. It's none of my business. Your bank account's none of my business. What is my business is your business. And I want to help you grow and advance your business. So I'm not doing my due diligence if I don't make my very best recommendation to you based upon what I believe you need. So I will recommend to you what I believe you need. And then if you get to the point and then someone's like, how much is that going to be? And it's going to be this amount of money. And they're like, okay, I don't know if I can afford that. Okay. That's real, because that happens. But you'll have people, you will have people that'll tell you, you'll make your best recommendation to them, and then they may tell you, no, I can't afford that. Completely understand that. You do not lower your price, you adjust your service. So if I have a complete branding package that's $5,000, and I'm like, this is what you need based upon what you're trying to accomplish and all the different steps that you want to take and all the different resources you need and the time I know it's going to take us, this is the best recommendation I can give you. You need this package, and then investment for that's $5,000. How does that feel to you? Justin, I don't have $5,000. I get that. How about if I broke that up into payments? Is that more feasible? What would the payments look like? Well, what if we did $1,000 down and $800 a month? Is that swingable? I don't know if I can do $800 a month. All right, well, could you afford it? I could probably afford $400 a month. All right, this is what we could do. If I broke my package down into the first two segments, we could focus on these first two segments of this. I'm not lowering my price. I'm breaking my service down into segments. We could, instead of doing this whole package, we could break this down into these two segments. We could do this and this. I could give you that for $2,500. We could put you on payments of $500 a month for 5 months. How's that feel to you? I think I could swing that. All right, you know what I'll do? Just because I'm excited about getting you started, I'm going to throw in segment number 3 for no extra charge. How's that feel? That feels spectacular. Can you get started today? Absolutely. Awesome. I'll send you an invoice. Let's go. So I am just breaking it down into very simple steps. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. So provide them with an irresistible next step is just being very confident in who you are, what you have to offer, and making your recommendation based upon what they need, not based upon the perception that you have of what they can afford. Does that make a sense? You're not their financial advisor. All right, that's 8 steps. This is crazy, y'all. If you can figure out how to formulate this for yourself, it's spectacular. I'm going to give you a couple things today. First of all, I have a training on personality types. Have you all ever done a personality type training specifically with GEMS? I know all my people have. I've trained you on this. I do a personality type training around the framework of GEMS personality typing, but I do it from a position of sales, because understanding personality types is one thing, but understanding how to sell to personality types is another. It's incredibly, incredibly important to understand the 4 different personality types. It's important for you to understand your own personality type and how you jive with certain people and how you need to adjust with certain people. This personality typing is why you may find that you might say, man, I just really jive with that person. Like me and Lisa are yin and yang. Like I just love talking to her. It's because you're similar personalities. But then you might be talking to someone else and you're like, man, it just felt like oil and water, man. It was like a slug trying to drag them through the mud to get them to tell me anything. It's because you may be different personalities and you're not recognizing that difference. So personality typing is incredibly important. I have a training that I did for my inner circle. I think it was last year. I'm going to give that to you guys for free if anybody wants it. If you go to justinkappanpro.com/free training, if one of my people can put that in the chat stream for me, I'd appreciate it. justinkappanpro.com/free training. And that'll take you straight to that video. It's probably 90 minutes, I think. But I completely walk through the personality typing. And if you're really trying to figure out the selling process and really trying to figure out how to be better at attracting people, that will make a tremendous impact on you. It'll also impact your marriage. It'll also impact your relationship with your kids, because you start realizing that every human being in your life has a different personality. And as soon as you start understanding that, it will completely change how you communicate to them. Okay. So that's that one. Another training that I'm going to recommend to you, this one's not free because it's just too valuable. It's called Master Your Call. I got a whole bunch of people that have seen that from me. It's crazy. The Master Your Call training, I charge $97 for that thing. And that training is I walk you through my sales call process. One of the biggest struggles that entrepreneurs have is trying to figure out how to close a call. Because you can do all the marketing in the world, you can have great branding, you can have great process, but then if you get someone on the phone and you struggle or fumble through the phone call, it doesn't matter how good your marketing is if you can't close on the phone. So the phone call is crucial. So I teach my process for a prospect phone call on exactly how to handle that call. This also applies to to prospecting yourself to like speaking engagements, potential business relationships. It applies to everything. Basically, teaches you how to lead and handle a confident sales call in a way where you get to the end of the call and they ask you how they can do business with you. And then after they pay you, they thank you for letting them pay you. That's the idea. You don't want to have to convince anybody to hire you. You want to handle the conversation in a way that eliminates every objection before they even bring it up, and then gets them to the point where they're completely primed and ready to invest in you. So that one, if you want to check that out, it's JustinKaplanPro.com/master your call. Charge $97 for that video. You guys can grab that if you want to as well. What else do I have for you? You got your links for the PDFs. That's it. I'm going to take a couple questions. Real quick, Lindy asked me the question, a good day and time to go live. It's kind of the same conversation around posting, Lindy, where there's so many different time zones and everybody's so busy. I think the biggest thing that I'll tell you about going live is that one thing I believe is tremendously impactful is if you can pick a time where you can be consistent at the same time. And I'll give you the example. So I broadcast every single morning at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So, and I've been at 8 o'clock for 4 years. That's my time. I just been 8 o'clock every morning. So if you know Justin's going to go live every morning at 8 o'clock, you can put that on your calendar, right? Because you're like, I want to be there live. It's just better live. I'd love to join live and see what Justin's teaching every single morning at 8 o'clock. You can put that on your calendar. But let's say I tell you today, you know what, guys, next week, my schedule is going to start getting really busy. So I am going to continue to broadcast every single day. But Monday, I might be able to do 8. Tuesday, it's going to be sometime in the morning, but it might be later than 8. Wednesday and Thursday, it's going to be in the afternoon, but I will be live. And then Friday, I'll probably be back to 8. What's the likelihood of you showing up in those broadcasts, if any of them? 0, right? Because your world doesn't revolve on me. Doesn't revolve around me, except for Celia. You know, her world revolves around me, but everybody else, your world doesn't revolve around me. Right? But you're busy. You got stuff, right? You're not just sitting around holding your phone being like, man, I wonder when Justin's going to go live, right? You got stuff going on. So if you can create some consistency in your schedule where people can get used to seeing you at a specific day and time, even if it's not daily. Thank you, Maggie. I appreciate that. You know, I got clients that go live twice a week. My brother Keith in here goes live every single Tuesday and Thursday evening at 8:30 p.m. Celia, what are you doing? 9 p.m. I think 3 days a week. Is that right? Something like that? No, I can't remember. 5? Yeah. So consistency is important. So great question. I can't remember who asked the question. Somebody asked me Facebook business versus personal. Do I post on which one? Do I post on? For the sake of time, I don't want to go too deep into this, but I'll tell you this. The Facebook business algorithm is awful. It's just awful. It's really, really, really hard to get visibility on a business page, especially when you're starting out. You will hear business coaches and influencers telling you that if you're going to do business, you got to do it on a business page. But that's easy for them who have an established audience. I know because I've tried, it's tremendously, tremendously frustrating creating content and videos and posts every single day on a Facebook business page that gets 0 engagement. It's tremendously demotivating. So I try to work my business page in conjunction with my personal. I do all of my live broadcasts. Now I multi-stream. So all of my live broadcasts go out to business, personal, business, Periscope, YouTube, they're everywhere. But I do a lot of engagement on my Facebook page, and I talk to a lot of people about this. People are like, well, Justin, you know, personal page is for personal, and you're not supposed to do business stuff on your personal page. I'm not. No, I don't sell from my business page. I share value. I mean, and people get freaked out about the algorithm. What if I go into Facebook jail? And this is how I look at it. I don't worry about the Facebook algorithm because so long as Facebook allows me to go live and talk to people like humans, I'm fine, because that's what I do. I go live every single day and I just share value. I teach, I help, I share information. And when I'm done sharing information, I go in and I talk to people. I don't sell stuff. I don't post links. I don't try to run promos off my page. I just help people. I just serve people. So I highly, highly encourage you to find your own rhythm, find your own place. You got to figure out how you want to leverage your personal versus your business. And it is a bit of a thing that everybody has to figure out in their own way. But I would encourage you, you kind of have to leverage and use both, because a business page alone does not get visibility early on. You got to find a way to get traction from your personal page as well. All right. Questions. Anybody else got a question? You can throw your hand up. I've muted everybody automatically. But does anybody have a question that you want to tee up to the group? Tammy, let me see if I can unmute you. There you go. Tammy, I think I can hear you. Go.
I put it in the chat stream. What's the difference between a hook and an irresistible next step?
Great question. A hook is basically a lead magnet. A hook is an opportunity for them to get started. An irresistible next step is basically your offer after they've already taken a step towards you. So, for example, I'll give you guys an irresistible next step. All the people that are in my 7-day challenge are going to find out tomorrow, and they already kind of know about this, that I have an exclusive coaching package that is put together just for Elevate Your Brand. If you guys want to check that out, it's JustinKappenPro.com/elevate your brand. It gives you a variety of different ways that you can work with me beyond that 7-day challenge. But as you go through that, you'll see that it is a very irresistible next step. So that irresistible next step is basically having your offer, the beginning with your end in mind. It's having that prepared and ready to go so you can lead them to a paid interaction with you. Does that make sense, Tammy? Yeah. So your what do I call it? Your hook is just to get them started towards you. Once you get them started towards you, your irresistible next step is their commitment, getting their commitment. Great question. Who else has got a question for me? Anybody? Y'all are good? Was this helpful, y'all? It's good, worth your time? Man, I know an hour and 40 minutes is a long time, y'all, so I appreciate y'all hanging out with me this evening. I am recording this. Where am I going to post this? It's a great question. Because some of y'all are watching this that are not. Some of y'all are watching this that are not in my challenge group. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a link. What did I call this? What is this thing called? This is my client conversion. All right, this is what I'm going to do. Tomorrow, I'm going to set up a page on my website. It'll be JustinKappenPro.com/client conversion. Won't be an email capture or anything. It'll just be JustinKappenPro.com/client conversion. I'll post the replay there. That way, because I don't want 57 people emailing me asking me for the thing. I don't want it. So I'll post it there. I'll have that up and available later, up there later. So you guys can check that by probably end of day tomorrow, and it'll be available for you there, and you can watch the replay there. All right. Is that easy enough for you guys to get a hold of? Okay. All right. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate your time, your attention, your interaction. Y'all are amazing. Get about your day. Those guys that are in the challenge, look forward to finishing up the challenge with you tomorrow. Have a great weekend, and I will see y'all later. All right. Take care and God bless.